Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into what is honestly one of the single most misunderstood topics in the entire investing world: corporate debt. You know, some investors look at debt and think it's just inherently bad. Others, they just ignore it completely. But the real truth is somewhere right in the middle. And honestly, understanding how it works is absolutely crucial if you want to find stable, long-term winners in the market. So, let's jump right in. Okay, picture this. I want you to imagine two companies. Both are highly profitable. Both have growing sales. On paper, they both look incredibly successful. But here's the catch. One company carries absolutely zero debt, while the other owes billions of dollars. So, which company is safer? I bet your gut instinct is to say the one with zero debt, right? Well, actually, the answer isn't always that obvious.
Let's just bust that myth right now. The idea that the zero debt company is automatically the superior choice is just flat out wrong. Think about it. If that second company, the one with billions in debt, is earning vastly more than it owes, and it's using that borrowed cash to fuel massive new profits, it might actually be a way better investment than the first company, which could just be sitting there stagnating because it doesn't have the capital to grow. We always have to look at debt relative to a company's actual ability to manage it.
It's kind of like opening up a small restaurant. If you don't have enough cash on hand to buy the building or the fancy kitchen equipment today, what do? You go to a bank and you borrow the money. That loan is what actually lets you open your doors years earlier than if you had to pinch pennies and save up for it. In that scenario, debt isn't some terrible burden. It's a tool. It creates opportunity. And massive corporations do the exact same thing. They borrow to build factories, buy equipment, or push into new global markets. So the debt itself isn't the problem at all. Now that we've cleared up why debt actually matters, here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the debt dilemma, run through our long-term debt tests, hit the short-term liquidity tests, and then wrap it all up with the final verdict. Basically, I'm going to hand you a 4-part toolkit to evaluate the financial health of literally any company.
All right, moving into our first section, long-term debt tests. We are going to start by looking at the big picture.
The very first tool in our new toolkit is the debt-to-equity ratio. Now, before we start getting lost in huge dollar amounts, we need to understand the overarching structure of a company's finances. This ratio does something really simple. It compares what the company owes to what actually belongs to the shareholders. The formula is super straightforward, just total debt divided by shareholders' equity. Imagine how this capital pie is split up. Let's say we're looking at a business with $40 billion in total debt and $80 billion in shareholders' equity. When you divide that 40 by 80, you get a crystal clear picture of how much financial leverage they're using. Do the math, and boom, the ratio is 0.5. But what does that actually mean for you, the investor? Well, it means this company carries 50 cents of debt for every single dollar of shareholder equity. Now, generally speaking, a lower ratio means a more conservative, safer financial setup. But, and this is a massive caveat here, what counts as healthy completely depends on the industry. A software startup should have very little debt, while businesses like banks, utilities, or telecom companies naturally run with way higher debt loads. So always make sure you're comparing apples to apples within the same industry. Okay, let's grab the next tool and build on that. Borrowing all this money creates a brand new responsibility, right? Interest payments. Every single loan comes with a cost. So we absolutely need to know if the company can afford that cost. Enter the interest coverage ratio. This asks one vital question: can the business comfortably pay its interest expenses? We figure this out by taking operating income and dividing it by interest expense. Let's use some real numbers. Say a company pulls in an operating income of $12 billion, but their interest expense for the year is only $2 billion. Their income absolutely towers over what they owe the bank, and that right there creates a very, very comfortable financial cushion. That calculation gives us a super healthy ratio of 6. Basically, they're earning 6 times more operating income than they actually need to cover their interest. That is exactly what you want to find. However, warning bells should be ringing loudly in your head if this ratio drops down to, let's say, 1.2. If it's at 1.2, that means almost all of their hard-earned profit is going straight to the bank just to tread water. One bad month or a tiny dip in sales and they might default on their bills. That is what we call dangerous debt. All right, shifting gears to our next section, short-term liquidity tests. We're zooming in now to focus purely on surviving the next 12 months. Because, let's face it, not all financial obligations are 20-year bonds, right? Companies have bills that are due this year. So our third tool is the current ratio. It simply checks if a company has enough short-term assets on hand to pay off its short-term liabilities.
The formula? Just current assets divided by current liabilities.
Let's run the math again. If a business has $20 billion in current assets and $10 billion in current liabilities, you divide 20 by 10 and get a really solid 2.0. This is fantastic news. It means they literally have $2 in assets for every $1 they owe this coming year. As a general rule of thumb, you want to see this current ratio above 1.0, which tells us they can comfortably handle their upcoming commitments.
But wait a second. What if a huge chunk of those current assets are just thousands of boxes of shoes sitting in a dusty warehouse? If nobody's buying those shoes, the company certainly can't use them to pay the electric bill. That is exactly why we use our fourth tool, the quick ratio. This is brilliant because it just rips inventory right out of the equation. It only looks at cash, short-term investments, and accounts receivable, which is just money customers already owe them, and divides that by current liabilities.
This right here is the ultimate stress test for a company's short-term financial strength. Because we strip out inventory, we are strictly measuring the absolute most liquid assets. If a company can cover its short-term obligations without having to hold a desperate fire sale on its inventory, they are in a much stronger position. It's a way stricter, much less forgiving test than the current ratio. Let's bring all of this together in our final section, the final verdict. We need to decide, is the debt a ladder or is it a weight?
So we ask right at the start if debt was good or bad, and the real answer is it totally depends on how it's being used. Imagine both of these companies borrowed the exact same amount of cash. Company 1 uses the money strategically. They build a state-of-the-art factory, create better products, and literally double their profits. The debt was a ladder that helped them win. But Company 2, they're borrowing heavily while their sales are already tanking. They're stuck with massive payments and zero new growth to cover them. The debt just crushes them. It's a weight pulling them straight down. It's the exact same financial tool, but it produced two completely opposite outcomes.
So to wrap this all up, remember that truly great investors never just rely on one single metric. Glancing at the total dollar amount of debt a company has tells you almost nothing. Instead, you've got to walk through this progressive four-step checklist. First, check debt to equity to see how leverage compares to ownership. Then verify interest coverage so you know the bank is getting paid comfortably. Next, run the current ratio to make sure this year's bills are covered. And finally, hit them with the quick ratio for that ultimate liquid asset stress test. You really have to look at all four of these together to figure out if a company's debt is healthy or dangerous.
So here is my challenge to you right now. I want you to pick a stock that you're really excited about, go look up these four ratios, and ask yourself, is this company using debt as a ladder to reach new heights, or is it a weight pulling them under? Understanding this is absolutely essential for evaluating any business, but it's still only one piece of the puzzle. Join me in our next explainer where we're going to uncover what a lot of Wall Street pros consider the literal holy grail of financial strength, free cash flow. Until then, keep analyzing, and I'll see you next time.